Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers in this house.
Happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to all the mothers who are here, and I want to personally honor each and every one of you. Being a mother myself, I know how challenging it is, how heartbreaking it can be, how wonderful and amazing being a mother is. But it's really a choice that we make, right?
Right.
It really is. I'm kind of bummed to say this morning that we have this amazing video of a bunch of your children talking about the love for their mom and what they liked about their mom and their favorite things about their mom. And we had some technical difficulties, so I can't show it to you. But the children that were filmed in that, I will make sure that all of the moms receive a copy of it so that you can see it, because it is really precious. So the title mom, mother, mommy, gosh, it comes with so much responsibility. And I know that it's a responsibility that it's not even sometimes we choose it, right? Just all of a sudden we find ourselves in that place of being a mom. Sometimes we're ready, and most of the time I think that as women we're not. Kids don't come with instruction books.
Right.
And a lot of times we come from such broken places in our past that trying to figure out what a good mom is and how to be mom can be really challenging. And just to speak to the men here today, this message is not just about moms, but today is Mother's Day. So I will be talking about motherhood, and take the message if you're a man and apply it to yourself, because the same applies for fathers, right? I think that mothers and fathers go through different struggles, and they have different responsibilities, and they have different expectations, especially of themselves, but we're all just parents. And I know that in today's age, the pressures of being a mom are so much different than when I was a mom. I spent this last week with my oldest daughter, who is 27. She just had a baby. My grandson is 8 months old. And my daughter is mothering her child very different than I did it. I've heard all kinds of crazy things in this last week. I got all kinds of instruction on the right way to be a mom and to raise a child in 2017. And it kind of blows my mind, because I'm alive, and I know my parents didn't raise me that way. And I know that my kids were exposed to a lot more than what my grandson is going to be exposed to. And the pressures are so extreme. There's this social pressure of what a mom looks like today. And it's like, you got to make your own baby food. And it has to come from all organic fruits and vegetables. I'm not quite sure what would happen if you didn't. Because my kids ate store baby food, and they're like healthy and like smart and beautiful. But for some reason, today in 2017, that is a big no-no. And then there's the expectation, the pressure to, oh my gosh, the phobia of the germs. I mean, everything has to be sanitized, and you can't take your kid out into public for, until they're, well, at least 6 or 7 months old, because of everything that's out there. And I was like, wow, I obviously did it wrong, because I took my kids everywhere. And we didn't have hand sanitizer back then. Okay. And all the other things that my daughter, and I know a lot of women today, young mothers today, are doing to protect and raise their children right. It actually seems like it's almost an oppression. It's this heavy weight to do all of these things and do them right. And then I was schooled this week on why children under 2 should never watch TV. And it desensitizes, supposedly, it desensitizes them to something, and it hinders their learning capabilities. And I was like, wow, I remember back in the day, I just needed to get something done. So I would put on a Disney movie and put my kid in front of it. But my daughter's like, no, you can't do that. So I learned all kinds of things, and wow. There's the pressure, I know today, to to have a baby and then to get your figure back right away and look the way that you did right before you had your kid. There's the pressure to be the best mom in the world, but yet you have to work and you have to buy all those organic foods. But what if you can't afford them? What if it's just a stretch because they're so expensive? I kind of see all of this as it's more of an oppression. I mean, it's a very heavy weight to have to manage all of these things. And you know, for me, I had just turned 17 when I had my first daughter. And of course, I was not planning on being a mom, and frankly, didn't want to be a mom. And I did things quite differently. I know that my oldest daughter spent a great deal of time in various bars and restaurants underneath the table making forks in very dirty circumstances, I'm sure. But I mean, I just was in a different place. I did the best that I knew how to do in my very selfish, young frame of mind. She was well fed. She always had the cutest clothes. I always took her to the fun kid places. In my mind, I thought I was a good mom. Again, I did my best with the knowledge and the information, the tools that I had. When my oldest daughter was about 2 was when I got really heavy into drugs. And even then, I was pretty sure I was a good mom. I mean, I did a lot of drugs. I took my daughter to a lot of drug deals and exposed her to a lot of things, but I took good care of her. And then it was about 10 years later when I had my next daughter, my youngest daughter. And you know, the difference between 17 and 26 years old when you're a mom is huge. So obviously I did things a little bit different. I was totally into being a mom, and I loved all the babiness, and it was great. But yet still, my criminal life, my drug life was extreme, and this is how my kids were raised. Once my heart began to align with the heart of God, as I'm sure a lot of you have experienced in your life, things begin to change and your perspective begins to change. And I began to realize, oh my God, wait, this is not what a good mom is supposed to be. This is not what a good parent should be doing. I probably shouldn't have had hundreds of guns in my house around my children. So you can imagine, I could look back over my life and I could accept a great amount of shame and condemnation and really beat myself up for the way that I was with my children. Because that would just be natural. I mean, can't any of you, maybe your story isn't crazy like mine, but can't you look back over your life and be like, wow, I could have been a much better father. If I'd only spent more time with my kids. If I'd only protected them from this thing or taught them that thing, right? And for you people, I look around and I see a lot of people in here who are not parents yet. So just listen and learn. There's a story of a mom in Matthew that I want to talk to you guys about today. And it's in case anybody wants to turn there, it's Matthew 15, 21 through 28. This is a radical story about a young mom who actually changed history. This was the first woman who was not one of the chosen, first person, who was not one of the chosen people of God that Jesus ministered to. So she was actually the doorway into Jesus' worldwide ministry versus just the chosen people that he had been called to, right? And what's so awesome about this mom is that this is the first place, it's actually the only place in the Bible that I found, and there could be more, but I found in studying out this particular passage that Jesus was actually impressed with somebody, impressed with a woman. So let me just read it to you. Jesus went to the regions of Tyre and Sidon. A Canaanite woman from those territories came out and shouted. Let me stop there and just explain to you what a Canaanite was. A Canaanite was an enemy of the Jews. In the Old Testament, God had told the Israelites when they were going into the promised land, you need to wipe out the Canaanites. They're idol worshipers, have nothing to do with them. Don't get into business with them. Don't get into relationships with them. You need to wipe them all out from the face of the earth. Obviously, they disobeyed because here in the New Testament, we see the Canaanite woman. So ultimately, in this story, she would be seen as an enemy. So she comes out and she sees Jesus. Now, she's never met him before, but obviously he came into her hometown and she heard about what he was doing and she heard about him, and immediately in her heart she believed and knew who he was, because the first thing out of her mouth, she says, show me mercy, son of David. So she knew, she identified him to be the Son of God, to be the chosen one. And she says to Jesus, my daughter is suffering terribly from demon possession. But Jesus did not respond to her at all. And his disciples came and urged him, send her away. She keeps shouting after us. And I read several commentaries on this passage in the Bible when I was putting my message together. And actually what the commentaries say and what the original writings indicated is that the disciples were begging Jesus, just give her what she wants because she won't shut up. She's making a spectacle of herself. She's yelling and hollering and following us. Give her what she wants so we can send her away. And Jesus replied, I have been sent only to the lost sheep, which is the people of Israel. So this would be saying that this Canaanite woman has no right because she's not one of the chosen of Israel. She's actually an enemy of Israel. And she knelt down before him and said, Lord, help me. But again, the commentaries and the way that it was originally written says that she threw herself at his feet and she worshiped him. And she said, Jesus. She knew in her heart he was the only one who could help her.
Come on.
The only one. So here, this enemy, so she would have been considered in that time, she would have been considered an outcast. Somebody who's less than, who has no business coming up to Jesus and throwing herself at his feet. But she was a mama. She was a parent, and her baby had a need. Her daughter was demon possessed, and she knew that Jesus was her only source of help. And Jesus replied, it is not good to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs. Now I just want to stop here for a minute. This is a very controversial piece of scripture. People take it and they're like, oh my gosh, how could Jesus be so rude and mean? Totally out of character for him. Well, it's because it is out of character for him. So you'd actually have to study this out. You'd have to know what was being said back then to understand this piece of scripture. So I don't want you to sit here and hear this thinking, wow, Jesus was really a jerk to her, because that's not at all what was happening. And if you would like my notes or the commentary or what I studied from, I would be willing to give it to you. So we're just going to kind of skip past that, because the most important part of the story is right here. She said, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Again, the only people who called Jesus Lord were people who knew him. His followers, his disciples. Only people who were intimate with him. Other people called him rabbi, teacher. But she immediately, when she's worshiping him, she connected with who he is. Because isn't the truth that Jesus is our only source of help?
Come on, yes.
That can really do anything in our life. And she knew this. And she connected with him and she got intimate with him and she said, Lord, help me. And Jesus said, woman, you have great faith. You see, this mom, this parent was desperate for Jesus' help. And I just have to ask you today to be real and ask yourself, how many times when you need help or your children need something or you need wisdom as a parent, do you go to God first? How many times do we go to our friend first or our mother first or WebMD first? Right? Or even Facebook. I don't don't know how many times on Facebook I've seen a post from somebody that says, okay, so I'm going through this particular thing, or my kid is experiencing this thing. What's my answer? What's my solution? God is the first one that we should be going to.
Come on.
God is our only source of true wisdom and of true help. And this woman knew that. And when Jesus says, woman, you have great faith, that word woman is the exact same word he used for his mother. It is the exact same word that he used for his very close friend, Mary Magdalene. It is a word of endearment. It is a word of intimacy. So you see what's happening here. Even though she was an outcast, even though maybe she had done things that she shouldn't have done as a parent, I'm not sure how her daughter became demon-possessed. But don't you see, it just doesn't matter. Jesus says, woman, you have great faith, and it will be just as you wish. And right then, her daughter was healed. How many times in the Bible do we read where Jesus says to his disciples, "Oh, you of little faith"? This woman, this mother, actually impressed Jesus. He complimented her. He said, woman, with compassion, with emotion, wow, what great faith you have.
So good.
I know that I'm not the only parent, whether you're a mom or a dad in the room, that you can look back over your lives and say, I wish I would have done things differently. I wish I would have done a lot of things differently. But you know, condemnation and shame never come from God, ever. And if you look at this story and just take it for what it's worth, it was the faith in Jesus that made a change happen in this situation. It wasn't because she did things right or she did things wrong as a mom. It wasn't because she protected or didn't protect her kid. It was simply her faith. And I have to say to you today that as hard as we work to measure up to all of these expectations that not only the world, but we ourselves put on ourselves, the only thing that matters to God is our faith in Him. The only thing that matters is our faith that God will save our children, that He will restore our relationships, all those relationships that we ourselves have jacked up. Everything else is useless. It is our faith in God that pleases Him. It is our faith in God that brings change into our lives. People in here that are dealing with something, some sort of shame, condemnation, or guilt in regards to past issues. And I want to create, well, there's already an atmosphere here for an emotional healing, for an emotional breakthrough. And I want you guys to know that everybody who is a believer, everybody who is a member of the kingdom of God has the right to be free. I mean free from everything. Free from guilt, free from shame, free from the past. And I want you to know that it's not something that we work for, and it's not something that has anything to do with you. It's just the grace of God. It is just the grace of God that allows us to rest in what He's provided for us. If you are I'm going to cut my message short here. I know that today is Mother's Day and we're already kind of running a little long. I want to create an opportunity for you, whoever you are, because I can feel it, to come up here. And I want to lay hands on you. And I believe that God still works miracles every day, all the time. And a huge miracle in your life, whoever you are, would be to be set free of your past, set free of the shame and the guilt and the condemnation that you're putting upon yourself for your mistakes.
I feel like it was, if you look at this lady who, it was her faith, and I know we went through that, it was the propulsion of her faith. It was the propulsion of her faith that took the possession into perfection. It was her just casting it forward without care, without any hesitation, just without, I'm just going to go for it. I don't care who everybody thinks I am. I don't care what people may say when they see me to just go and run and just leap at his feet. It was the propulsion of her faith that led that possession into perfection. The possession was gone and the perfection started to happen. All because of faith. And so whether it's a healing, whether it's you got a bad relationship with your children, whether it's whatever it is, I don't know. I could go through the laundry list, and to try to hit all the fun buttons to get you to make a move. But my God, this thing is on you to propulse, to push forward your faith today and say, I don't care. I don't care what everybody in the room is thinking. I'm going to go and I'm going to get my perfection started. I'm going to go get my healing started. I'm going to go get my faith in line with him so that when I'm standing there, he says, wow, your faith is awesome. Your faith is radical. Well done, good and faithful servant. I don't know about you, but as a dad, as a husband, as a pastor, just as a man, just as his son, that's all I want to hear. But if I don't step into faith, I'm never pleasing him.
That's right.
So those words, as you know, don't come. So that's why we're constantly exercising and getting out there, and I'm sometimes acting like a bozo for Jesus in front of you. It's because I just don't care. And sometimes Michelle and I share our junk with you, and we just lay it out there because we want you to see that when you just lay it out there and you lay it at his feet, he's like, wow, that's awesome faith. Now let me take you somewhere else.
It's operating in that, it's stepping into that faith when the miracle happens.
So if you're here this morning and you're ready to step from the possession of your past and relinquish it and step into the perfection of your future, then I'm going to invite you to come up here. We want to pray with you. If I could have the prayer team, if they're in the room, I want to just lay hands on you and pray over you this morning. And I want to bless the moms here today. I want to set you free from the whole idea that you don't have to be in this oppression, this pressure of trying to be all that. As I was sitting there, Michele was talking about all this stuff, I just started thinking about Colossians 3:13. And it says to make room for others' faults. But if we read the Bible like we're supposed to, and it's for me, not for everybody else in the room, but it's speaking to me, then you need to make some room for your own faults, for your own mistakes. Because Jesus isn't counting those against you. But he does want to set you free. So if that's you in this place today, come. We want to lay hands on you and pray with you. Just come. Just come. Let it go. Let it go.
of the things that we've done that God has that same view of us. And it's just not true. It is just not true. God sees us through the eyes of love. He sees us through the blood of Jesus. Completely opposite of the way that we see ourselves.
Norma, I just want you to know, Norma, God was just giving me a picture for you. And it's just this. He says you're standing in mud. You're stuck in the mud. And he knows, he sees your heart that you want to run. He sees the intentions of your heart and said you want to run the race and you want to run with a great pace in your race. But the problem is that you're stuck in the mud. And what he wants to do is he wants to blow on that mud because you know it'll dry up. Because he's all powerful that way. He says, if you'll just let me blow on your feet, if you'll just trust me, I'll dry it up. And then when I dry it up, you'll be standing on solid ground. And on that solid ground, you can run your race. But it's up to you to allow your faith to be exercised, to allow him to blow on your feet to where you can stand and run. So allow him to pick you up out of the mud. There's people here who are this morning that I know who need healing in their body. You either have faith or you don't. You either trust him or you don't. Mary Lou gave me a report today about cancer. Most of you have been around us long enough know we've been praying for Mary Lou, and Mary Lou's by faith been trusting God. She went to the doctor this week, and the doctor told her this: Mary, I got good news. Your faith has your cancer has stopped. It is not spreading to your body. That's the good news. And I said, Mary, that's great news, because it can't go but one other direction. If it can't go forward, it can only go. Come on, it can only go right. So by faith, Mary said, I'm just attaching to my faith. And her faith is what's going to reverse the process and get her back to her wholeness, health, and complete. But it's only by faith that happens. It's not faith in the chemo, it's not faith in the doctor, it's faith in the healing power of Jesus Christ. And Jill, today I just declare over you right now, healing. From the top of your head, because that's where I know all this has started. But the Lord is saying to you that he wants you to let it flow down the rest of your body. See, you're focused on the top, and he says, no, daughter, I want you to let me just let it roll down to your toes, because I want you to dance in it. See, he knows you. He knows you're an entertainer, and he knows you're a dancer, and he knows you love to sing and get crazy. But see, the problem is that you've only allowed the oil of the tongue just touch the top of your head. And he says, today I want you to let it flow from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And I want it to be a flood encompassing you so that you can dance in it and you can bask in it. And together we can get this healing together. So we declare that anointing over you today in Jesus' name. Let it flow from the top of her head to the tips of her toes, to the tips of her fingers. God, I just pray the dance floor will just be elaborate. That she would see it in her spirit, God, that she would see that you're calling her right now to an amazing healing. That she would be able just to sing his life, operating on his behalf. So we thank you for that today in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name, amen. Can y'all give it up for our new brother in Christ today? So good. I don't want to keep you much longer, but I got to share this. Craig and I work out at the same gym together. It's obviously works out a whole lot more than I do. But about a year ago, I saw Craig, and he's one of the biggest guys in the gym, and I said, I'm going to go pick on him. Because that's what I do. I don't pick on the little guys, I just pick on the big guys. And when I mean pick on him, I was just going to go just see who he was and what he was all about. And, you know, I feel like God was telling me that what I saw on the outside was not who he was on the inside. And when he opened his mouth, I heard the tender spirit just that God was stirring in him. And it took a year of just talking to him, and I wasn't talking about Jesus and telling him that he needed to get saved. I wasn't telling him all this Christianese. I just became his friend, and he became mine. And we just would see each other in passing, and next thing you know, we're following each other on Instagram. I'm taking you down this journey because this is how God works. And then, a year later, he says, hey, my wife and I are thinking about coming to church. I think we're going to come to yours. I said, awesome, come on out. I wasn't, surprised. I was stoked. But then they started coming, and this is the result of just loving the hell out of people. This is the result of just becoming friends, just being Jesus to people. But it's just not the pastor's position, it's your position too. We share that position, that we're to reach the city of Long Beach. See, my neighbors are here. My physical neighbors are here today. The people I work out with are here today. Eventually, people I work with are going to be here. We all have that influence in our lives. See, we all have this influence to bring birth into people's lives, the birth of salvation into people's lives. So we all have that mom role, kind of, in a sense, right? So let that be your Mother's Day message. Let the testimony of Craig coming up here today of putting his faith in Jesus because a man came to him and said, hey, can I just be your friend? Much like Jesus did to all of us. Go be a friend to somebody today. Go watch the birth happen. What I'm excited about is to see him grow. To see the man of God that he becomes in his family, in his work, and at the gym, and the influence that he has. That's the birthing process. That's the parenting process now. See, you're my spiritual kid now. I get to help you grow up. I get to. I don't have to. I get to. So as you go out today, go get your get to. Go get to somebody and go love the hell out of them. And all you moms today, may you have an amazing, rockin', blessed Sunday with your families. May God just run you down and take you over with his favor today.